A few years ago, my builds used to look like this. And after many years of building, they have now turned into this. But you can learn how to build like this in just a few minutes. So let me show you how. The first thing you need to do when building a good house is choosing the shape of the house. The way I like to think of this is the weirder the shape, the better the house. But the shape can't be too weird and complicated, otherwise it's harder to build and it's too hard. This is the shape I'm choosing for this house, and by the way, I will be building a house step by step in the video also to show you what I'm doing and how I'm thinking. I built this shape in smooth stone, so you can copy this shape if you want to, but I highly suggest you use your own shape in your own builds and try not to copy. The next step to building a perfect house is choosing a good block palette. A block palette is a group of blocks you will be using to make your house. This is what a bad palette looks like, and this is what a good block palette looks like. I will be going for this block palette right here, and I know this does not look like anything like a house right now, but I promise you later in the video, if you stick around, this will turn into a perfect house. When making a house, the third step to building is spacing. What I mean by spacing is spreading your blocks apart so they are not all clumped together. You want to have a few different blocks on your walls for extra textures and it's not so flat. This is what I mean. This cobblestone it makes it look really flat, but when you start adding different blocks in here and just kind of spacing them out so they're not all like clumped together, it kind of adds a little bit of texture with the wall and it just makes it look a lot better. I will fix this and show you what it's like. Now it looks a lot better and you can really see the texture popping out on the walls. I'm now done texturing my build, and this white blocks right here is actually going to be a tower building up higher than all the other parts on my build, and this moves in right to the next step is varying heights. Varying heights on your build is so important because it gives the house extra details and it makes your house look so much better. This is what I mean by varying heights. Say this side right here only goes up to here, but then this square right here goes up to here, say, and then this tower goes all the way up to here. It gives it different heights of the build and makes it look a lot more detailed and a lot more compact, and I'll show you, I'll give you a better picture on what that looks like here. Just a quick little tip here, when you're adding a second story like I am going to be, I like to space apart my first story from my second story by adding a little line of wood right here. I like using spruce because I think it's the best wood in my opinion, and I add some little barrels here because I'm gonna have spruce towers going up like this, and that's just a little tip. I like to use barrels a lot because they have this texture right here, and that is just a perfect texture for like, kind of makes it look like there's ropes on it. I'm done varying my height. I have a tower here, I have 2 stories here, so this tower is gonna be way taller than this story. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to repeat this texturing process I did up here with these 2 blocks. I will do this around the whole second story, and then the next step will be adding a roof. Okay, I went ahead and added a whole roof to all of my build. I know I skipped ahead, but I will explain everything. So, to start off, for the roof, I used just regular stairs with a deep slate brick outline, also with cobbled deep slate, kind of mixed it in with everything. And then for the middle, I used spruce stairs just to kind of give it that little extra texture. And then I pushed this wall back 1 and I added barrels for that texture also. And I did that on all sides, as you can see. And I went ahead and did a roof for the tower. Now the tower roofs are really confusing, and if you want I can make another video on how to do a tower roof, but I will explain it really quick. To make a tower roof, you want to kind of have it coming out one like I did here, and then you want to have it coming to a point. You can't just have it go up, otherwise it'll look really stupid. Believe me, I tried it in some of my other worlds, and it does not work out well. It just kind of looks like a rocket ship in a way, just not pointy. And I also went ahead and thickened out the bottom of the tower out by 1 block around the whole side, and I made sure that each corner is 1 taller than the other ones, and I used diorite slabs, diorite stairs, and diorite bricks. As you can see, it kind of gives it more depth and looks like it's kind of getting supported by other blocks and stuff. Okay, so now you are done with the roof, and if you do have any questions, please leave them down below, and I promise I will answer any of the questions you have. After you're done with your build, you're probably like, well, this kind of looks a little bad still, but there's still one more step, and that final step is detailing. Detailing is the most important part of a build, and it brings the whole build together. Because as you can see, all these walls still look pretty flat, and nothing is popping out. All the details I like to think about are windows, adding trapdoors around your house, hanging flowers, and maybe a little canopy next to your house for to add to the shape and maybe put some wood under it. For the windows, I like to use glass panes instead of regular glass blocks because it brings out the depth a little bit. I like to do either 2 tall like this or 2 like this, kind of like a 2x1 or a 1x2, I think you would call that. And then I like to hang 2 slabs and then do 2 trapdoors like this, so it's kind of hanging down like that. And then you can either add for the bottom, add some flowers hanging down maybe, or you can add some grass. This is what I like to do. Whoops. Add some grass, fill it with trapdoors. I like either put some spruce stairs, kind of making a hold under, like this. Whoops, like that. I think I'm gonna do it like that. Or you can add oak trapdoors. And what you can do after this is put some flowers in the grass blocks to give it that bit of color pop. And as you can see, the windows look a lot better. And you can do this for there. You can do it wherever you'd like. I'm gonna go ahead and do this around the front side, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, as you can see, I'm done with the top story windows. And what you can see I did here, I didn't just add leaves right here, I actually brought them so it kind of looks like they're overgrowing into the tower, and that makes it just kind of pop out the most, and it doesn't look even. And a few years ago when I started my builds, I always liked my builds to be perfectly even. And as you can see, I didn't do that there. I have this trapdoor right here, but then on this one, it's not lined up. And that's okay. Maybe being odd or even can be better or worse. It depends on the build and depends on what you're building. I don't know if that's going to make sense. I'll explain it more later. Let's move on right to the next window design, and that is going to be big windows. Big windows are a little more difficult, but they do look a bit better. So I like to do 8 glass panes like this. I like to put slabs like we did up there, trapdoors also like we did up there, but then you're going to add another slab, and then make that a full block, or just use full blocks, and then use fences to make it look like it's getting supported. And then you can also do the same idea with the flowers and the grass, just like this. And just so you know, you can switch these flowers out for whatever you like. I like to use the blue orchids. I don't know how to pronounce them. Let me know in the comments. But you can also mix up these flowers for different ones. They don't have to be even, like I said. And the next window type is going to be the tower windows. Now, tower windows are going to be these 2x1s right here, and they make it look a bit taller, and it's just kind of what a tower window would be like. And they don't have to be on the same height. Maybe that one is up there. Maybe you want to add another one down here, and then maybe there's just one right here. It doesn't matter. Sometimes they make your build look better, and sometimes they make your build look worse. It really depends on how you think. But we're gonna add a stair on both of these. We are going to add grass and then trapdoors around it. You know what? Let's use oak trapdoors, maybe. And then you're gonna want to get yourself a flower, a 2 tall flower. Where are the 2 tall flowers? Right here. A 2 tall flower. Oh my goodness. And then you're going to want to get yourself a 2 tall flower, either a rose bush or a lilac, and you're going to want to put them just as I did. And that's going to make your build look a lot better, just kind of a different variety of flowers. You know how these are 1 block tall and these are 2 blocks. And now I know it will hide the window, but you can still see the window a little bit, as you can see. But it really just makes your build pop out the most as it possibly can. And then you can also add maybe like a roof if you want, or add with slabs like I did. You really just do whatever you want, and you can play around with any of these details as much as you like. But one thing I will let you know, don't over detail your builds. You might have seen that before where there's just slabs everywhere is different, there's no flat places at all. That makes a build look bad. That really makes a build look bad. Now this right here, it's a lot of details, but in the same time, it's to make the build pop out and to make sure these walls aren't totally flat. And you can maybe like not have a window here. You don't have to have windows all across the build. I've done that in some of my builds, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The next detail will be adding canopies. Now canopies are a really important part of your build. They make them stand out, they add to your shape, and they just kind of add to the aesthetics and just like the theme of your build. And if you're doing a medieval theme like I am, these are very important. Now what I like to do, add 4 fences like this, add a slab right here, and then a slab also right here. So it's kind of 3 up. And switch throughout just however you like, and make sure it connects with the other fence, just like that. And as you can see, I have a campfire, oak wood, and a shovel. And you're probably like, why do you have a shovel? It doesn't even matter. Well, I want to add some wood, like some fake firewood, and then I don't want to have all full blocks, so I use campfires. And the reason I have a shovel is because if you didn't know, a little tip here, you can left click on the campfires and it burns them out to make it look like logs. Now that is a really nice tip, a really good detail, and as you can see, it adds to our build and our shape. The last detail we are going to be going over today is chimneys. Chimneys can either make or break your build. The way I like to do it, break out 2 stairs from your roof, add bricks going up a few blocks. It doesn't matter how, well, it kind of does. You don't want it to be too tall, and you can check too, that is kind of a perfect height right there. From the back it's going to be taller, and that's fine. I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I added 6 tall, and then you're going to want to add campfires with trapdoors all around the campfires, just like I did. And then you're going to want to add trapdoors over the top. And as you can see, it kind of adds that effect of smoke and effect of life to your house. And this house is looking so good. And I know if you come around the back, it doesn't look too great. It's because I don't need to do the windows on the back. You can get an idea of like what to do. If this video helped you today and helped you learn how to build better, please let me know in the comments and maybe like and subscribe. And if you have any other questions, let me know. And if you want me to do another build like this, I think I will next week. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.